for having me at your conference. It's an honour to be attending. I'm very sorry I'm not having me. I speak with 25 residents in counties in Kenya, and it's a great pleasure to speak to everyone today. I'm sorry that I've been a bit late in coming to this meeting, and thank you to the organisers for helping me joining. I'm going to try and load my slides now. I hope everyone can see that okay. It's a great pleasure to be speaking to the conference. And as you've just been told, my subject today is synergies and challenges between Chea and Hansard departments and preserving democratic narratives, a general overview. And as it's just been said, I'm speaking from a point we have in common, no matter what differences we may have between our individual teams. I'm going to talk a little bit about the aims that we have as official reports in our organisations. I'm going to talk a bit about our working methods and different methods that are used across the world and across the Commonwealth. We're all slightly different, but we have a lot in common. I'm then going to talk a little bit about what we publish and how we publish it, and how it looks, and the challenges and synergies that we face there. And then I'm going to finish on a theme that I know you've been discussing and will continue to discuss over coming days in your conference, which is our role in a changing world as Hansards, and that's in respect of artificial intelligence, social media, technology, and the other challenges that we face in the modern world. So, beginning with our aims, I thought I'd try and come up with some aims that I think we all share with the baseline aims that we have here in the UK as Hansard. And I think the first one that we all share is that our core role is to produce an accurate and authoritative report of parliamentary proceedings. Accuracy is our first watchword. Close on the tail of that comes the aim that we publish the report in a timely manner. And that can be a big challenge. I know that various Hansards across the Commonwealth have backlogs of different degrees, and trying to produce Hansard quickly takes a lot of work and a lot of effort, and it's something that we aim to do. Another thing that we're all thinking about these days in the days of the internet is making the report as accessible and useful as we can. How can we make it available easily to the largest number of people, which is very important in terms of democratic narratives. And then finally, we need to invest in the skills of the people that we recruit, and also, as well, make best use of technology alongside that, so that we can deliver on the aims that we all have as effectively and efficiently as possible. And I hope those points are points that we all share across our different teams. And in that last one, I've been careful to place people alongside technology, because without people, the technology won't deliver what we want it to deliver. I thought I'd share, in terms of talking about our aims, in terms of reference that we have here in the UK Parliament, which is set out in our Parliamentary Procedure Manual, which is known as Erskine. It's been a good terms of reference because I think it's stood the test of time. It came into being in the 1930s, but it's still a very useful name to quote today. A full report in the first person, all speakers alike. A full report being defined as one which, though not strictly debating, is substantially the debating report. And I won't read out the rest because I never like to show slides and read the whole thing out, but I'll read it there for a moment so you can digest it. And I know, by the way, that various colleagues are already aware of this definition and that it's been shared. I'm happy to share these slides which contain it. Moving on then to production methods, I think a variety of methods are still used to produce Hansard across the world, and I thought I'd summarise a few of them. Doubtless you'll be very familiar with them, but I think it's quite good to review our methods. Here in London we have a list of reporters who cover the chamber, and that list method is something that's shared across national legislatures. All of the ones that I've visited use something analogous to this. Of course, it gets different when you get to smaller legislatures and smaller parliaments, but the basic principle of the list, just to remind ourselves, is that we share the work among a lot of people. It would take a long time to produce a daily report of the House of Commons here, which tends to sit between 8 and 10 hours a day. Without sharing that burden, without having people produce it iteratively by working in chunks. Here in London, we sit in the gallery in the chamber of the House of Commons, just above the clock from it. Just above the clock, there are 2 Hansard reporters, and we've got 2 in the chamber and 1 time, and they're going up to produce the report. This is a very old list of reporters. 43, and it's just to show that that method hasn't changed over the years. The list in those days is actually quite similar to the one that we have today, although it's rather ironic to note that on the left column everybody is automatically described as Mr. on the assumption that they already know, and I think we're a bit more modern than that these days. When I joined Hansard, there were a lot of colleagues who used shorthand, and pen shorthand in particular. Dptments is one method, there were other methods. I'm aware that there are several parliaments and other organisations across the world that still use pen shorthand, although it's a skill that I think is dying away as we have the advent of easier audio recording. We also used stenography, and we still have some trained stenographers on us now. But again, stenography is very hard to train. It takes a long time to learn the skill, and we found when we did stenography training, not everybody is successful. It's quite a hard skill to learn. It's a very valuable skill to have. It's very useful technology where audio capture, recording, and the It was really the advent of high quality audio capture that led us to move away from stenography. And in the Commons chamber where I work, we now have over 90 microphones, and that's a shot of the microphones on the table. And it was really the advent of the ability to record high quality audio that led us away and has led the journalistic profession away from the direction of shorthand stenography. Although those skills are still used, they're still valid skills, and they're still used in the UK courts, and they still have a place, I think, in taking the written word. So I wouldn't say that our approach is the only one. When I began working at Hansard in 1997, we were using reel-to-reel tapes to record the audio. That was divided up into much shorter tapes to enable the reporters to transcribe their reports. And it was a very good way of working in many ways, and we followed that way of working for nearly 10 years. There was a tape list where people are signing up the terms of the tapes, and that is to cover a committee. And again, it's that very familiar Hansard method of working on the tapes. One disadvantage of tape cassettes was it required a lot of messengers to carry tapes around. On any given day in the House of Commons, we may have up to 12 committees sitting at the same time. We also have the Commons chamber sitting, and we have our transcribers in various different rooms across the area of Parliament. And this meant that there were lots of messengers walking to and fro with briefcases like this one, full of tapes and full of papers. It was a very intensive operation. Similar briefcases we used to take the copy to the printers so it could be typeset for printing. And one advantage in having a digital audio recording as opposed to tape recording is that we were able to access the audio recordings much more quickly. This is a very technical call it in slide. And it's just to illustrate the digital audio transcription system we now have in Parliament. It records 20 channels in the main reserve, and that's across the UK House of Commons and House of Lords, where we now use 20 live events going at any given time. That's how our audio looks now that we've moved to digital audio. We've also tried to implement digital note taking with varying degrees of success. One thing we've talked about a lot in our conferences as Hansard over recent years is speech recognition and the potential that may have. And this rather comical slide is included just to say that my view of speech recognition is that it's a helpful tool potentially, but I don't believe that we're going to go over the rainbow with that unicorn and be able to do everything automatically. And I note that that's the theme of your conference, is using technology to help rather than to replace, and emphasising the position of our past successes and skills in the modern world. We did a trial of speech recognition, which is ongoing, and our aims are set out there. We wanted to help reporters with a difficult job. There's potential to use speech recognition for subtitles and search. And there are perhaps some efficiencies down the line, but they haven't been quick to achieve, and it remains to be seen exactly what role speech recognition can play in helping us produce Hansard. In my view, speech recognition has enjoyed a very quick increase in accuracy that's now tailing off in the curve that's shown there. And more important than accuracy really is how we integrate speech recognition with what we do day to day. I'm going to move on to publications, and I appreciate I'm covering a lot of ground, so as I say, I'll be happy to share these slides and to discuss any of these subjects with anyone at the conference. The thing is that I think we're all familiar with these publications is that we've moved from a largely print-based world into a world where people look at things much more on the internet. When I joined the UK House of Commons, we published about several thousand daily Hansards every day on paper. That figure's now gone down to 200 or 300 paper copies a day, whereas the number of online views is many times greater than that. We still publish bound volumes that are very handsome print editions, but the print run of those bound volumes is now just in double figures, and in fact it's fewer than 20 in each bound volume are published. And then you can see the bound volumes for the House of Commons in the UK and the UK House of Lords in England. We concentrated formerly primarily on this print output and primarily on PDFs. And the journey that a lot of us are on at the moment is the transition away from that print focus and into something that looks better on the internet. And you're all in different places on that transition. And certainly here in the UK, where we managed to implement our content on the internet, it can be very much improved. So I regard it very much as a journey that we're still on. And this is what our website looked like when we first introduced it in its modern form. It's still possible to access PDFs through it, but by using Microsoft Word and its tabbing facility, which is called content controls, we were able to put some structure on what we write to enable it to be presented in a more effective way online. And as I say, that journey is ongoing. It's still quite difficult to interact with it, but at least it's not just publishing PDFs. Until recently, we published in several different ways. There were several different versions, and we've been trying to bring those together. And we had a project some time ago to implement historic data online, and we managed to, with a big scanning project, scan our own volumes going back to 1802. We've got it all online now, and it's good because it's been digitized. However, because we used optical character recognition to implement the content, it's full of quite a lot of scanning errors. and also it's not actually complete because some goals were missed and some were misnamed. So it's very much a project that's ongoing, and I cannot say to you today that we have all the content there or that it's completely authoritative, but we continue to make the case to complete that project. I thought I'd include a few slides just to show how the leadership has changed at Hansard content here in the UK. And since we introduced a device-friendly site, we've been surprised to learn that the vast majority of views are on mobile devices as opposed to desktop PCs. This was for a recent debate on what we call an e-petition, which is an electronic petition that people around the UK can sign up for an issue that they're interested in. And if enough people sign, over 100,000 people sign the petition, they will get sent a link both to the video and the debate. And we've seen that it's fostered a great deal of interest in what we're doing. When we introduced our site in 2015, that was the number of page views in that first year, and that's unique page views of the Hansard content. By 2017, it had risen to that figure of 7 million, and then by 2019 to 12 million. And I include those pages not so much to say there were lots and lots of people looking at our Hansard. I think around the world there's a similar trend that more accessible and easier to find what Hansard content is. People are interested in it, and we're reading reviews, and we're publishing, wherever we work, we're publishing fragmentary accounts of what happened. There were lots of different accounts of what happened, and it was over several hundred years that we moved towards the idea of an actual official authoritative record. This is a picture of William Cobbett on the left and Thomas Curzon Hansard on the right. And it's often forgotten nowadays that those two then each produced a different version of what happened in Parliament. And it's only through an accident of history that we haven't been called Cobbett instead of Hansard. It happened to be that the Parliament at that time chose the Hansard Publishing House over Cobbett's to produce the record. And I think that's an interesting point to make in the context of today's world. There are lots of different accounts out there of what is real. There are lots of different accounts out there of what's supposed to be true, supposed to be true. There are lots of competing sources of news on social. There are lots of competing sources of news on social media and elsewhere. And I think it's good to be reminded that our reason for being here as Hansard is to provide an authoritative account under an authoritative banner. And in today's world, I think that's more important than ever it was in the days of Cobbett and Hansard. When we look at this video here, it can easily be manipulated by AI. There can easily be different accounts of what's going on. And I think we play a very important role together in our profession in ensuring that there is an account that is accurate and authoritative and that people can rely on in the face of all this different and competing information. And that brings me to the end of my brief presentation, which I hope will stimulate some thoughts and feelings amongst fellow delegates. And thank you once again for inviting me to address your conference, and I wish you all the best over the coming days.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jack. We appreciate your time. Thank you for the information that you've given. Whether you have a few minutes to spare so that the audience here can ask you a few questions.
Of course.
You do? Members? Anyone with a question to Mr. Jack? Any question? Are you happy? No one with a question? Yes, I don't know how you hear you.
Okay, hello. I'm Ahmed Kassim from Wajir County, County Assembly of Wajir. County Assembly of Wajir and other counties, county assemblies are new to this system. I'm new to this system, and I was hearing from your side that is what's called a shorthand. We don't use shorthand. How can we learn that shorthand? Where can we learn it? Can we learn it online? So is there a course of shorthand? How can we learn it? How is it? Is it very hard? Is it very easy? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. I found it hard to hear, but I think the question was about shorthand and how we work without shorthand now. The answer is that we have digital audio that we play back using foot pedals and wearing headphones, and we use those recordings to transcribe. I think shorthand is still useful, and it's a skill that we've done hard to recruit people who have it. But our method of working now is, as I say, to use foot pedals to play back audio. We did that in the same way when we used audio tapes. We had dictaphone machines with the audio on them, and we would use foot pedals to do the play, stop, rewind, fast forward, and we'd be able to play back and do our reporting wearing headphones. We still send reporters into the chamber because it's important that they see who's speaking and what's going on and other things that might be captured off the microphone. There was a part of me that would like to still have shorthand skills in case all of our wonderful technological systems fail. But that's an ongoing conversation. But I hope I've heard the question correctly, and apologies if I didn't quite get the right drift.
Okay, thank you very much. So are we done with the questions? So we have a number of questions. Yes, please. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Former, for the presentation. My name is Abdul Majid. I have chaired the task force which was looking into ways and means of digitizing the Hansard productions system. And when we were doing desktop research, we did not see anything about the UK House of Commons in terms of utilization of AI in the Hansard system. Is it deliberate or it's by accident that you're not utilizing AI, or maybe the information is not out there? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Again, it was a little bit hard to hear, but I think it was about AI and the extent to which we're using it or not. There are several ways in which I think AI is relevant to our work, and I know that colleagues around the conference will be all experimenting or at least considering how this might affect our work. Most obvious is with speech recognition, and we've done several trials here with some big web-based providers, for example, Speechmatics, and also with some smaller providers. And I'd say that we're still in a trial phase with the extent to which speech recognition can help us in producing a record. One problem with speech recognition is that it's very variable, and of course some difficult speakers, it might not be that useful to have a very difficult speaker 100% verbatim. So there are lots of variables with it, but I think there is potential there, and at the moment we're in the trial phase. Looking at AI more widely, another very powerful potential area we see here is for indexing and search. Whereas we used to have very intensive effort going into indexing, artificial intelligence does a pretty good job of producing indexing, topic searching, and parsing documents. And I think that's another potential area of interest for us in Hansard. More widely, there is a concern about misinformation and deepfake and so on. And I think there I would again make the point about the importance of Hansard as an authoritative record. But yes, returning to my first statement, in my team at least, we're still in the trial phase where we're looking at speech recognition to help with the production of transcripts and also potentially to help with subtitling.
All right, here then. Okay. I think we are done. Our audience is happy with the presentation. But in case anyone has a question, I believe we can reach out to you and we can have a discussion. I want to invite the president of the Hansard Association of Kenya to thank him especially for sparing your time to be with us. You know it's supposed to be lunch hour. You taken time out of your lunch to come and discuss and talk to us. So I'll invite Mr. Wanyoko, who is called George Wanyoko, to thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jack, for your presentation. It was wonderful to listen to you taking us down the memory lane from the time you started to live in Hansard in UK to where you are currently. We appreciate your time and we wish to continue collaboration with you, and we learned a lot from you, and especially now that we are moving on to the artificial intelligence, so that we see how we can collaborate the Chea and us on this side of the hack and the revolution of Kenya. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, and all the best with your conference.
Thank you.